Hi and welcome to Healthy Life Hacks. I'm Jennifer Jefferies, the present-day wise woman, a realistic naturopath coming to you from the surfing beaches of Australia. This podcast is for those of you who are wanting to really rock your life and health and live from a place of prevention. Let's get into today's episode. Visceral fat is the hidden hormone hijacker that feeds burnout. And what most women don't know about their belly fat is that fat isn't about what we see in the mirror. It's not. Not all fat is created equal. So visceral fat, this is the deep, more dangerous kind. It's the kind that wraps around our internal organs, everything from liver and pancreas and heart and intestines, and it acts like a hormone-releasing machine. And it's not just sitting there just doing nothing, it's actually working overtime, and it's quietly sabotaging our health. And I actually call it the heart attack fat. I do. It's just crazy because it raises our chance of having a heart attack exponentially. Here's the real thing, though, that a lot of women don't know. Visceral fat actually behaves like an organ all of its own. Yeah, it's crazy shit. It releases inflammatory chemicals like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, which mess with our insulin sensitivity, and it even cranks up our stress hormone, cortisol, which means it's keeping us in this perpetual stress loop. It's crazy. So the reality is that it's not just making our genes tighter, it's giving us fatigue, brain fog, mood swings, inflammation, aches and pains, burnout. And it's helping us age faster. So if you're a woman 40 plus in that perimenopausal, menopausal kind of zone, you're right in the firing zone to really where this works. Why are you in the middle of it? Pretty simple. Once women hit 40, especially during that hormone roller coaster time of perimenopause, which I've taught about, is because we arrive at this point adrenally tired. That shift alone causes the fat to redistribute from our hips and thighs. We go from being pears to apples in our abdominal area. So even if the number on the scales don't budge, our body composition can change dramatically. And here's a stat you probably haven't heard. The Mayo Clinic shared about how that women over 40 can experience a 10 to 15% increase in visceral fat during the menopause transition, even without gaining a single kilo. How? Why? Because the mix of hormonal shifts, stress response, and that natural loss of lean muscle mass. It is so important to get on top of our body making lean muscle. So belly fat isn't just annoying, it increases our risks of things like heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. These are the top 3 chronic diseases affecting midlife women, and visceral fat is a major player behind them. So what are we going to do? We can't fight it. We need to understand it and then take different measures so that our body can cope differently and not go down that slide. So this is the part that no one tells us, okay? Visceral fat isn't just about food and fitness. And in fact, you can't out-train visceral fat. Yeah, just can't. It's about stress and survival. So our body stores fat when it perceives we're under constant pressure, under constant stress, elevated cortisol. Think that. So let's be real. Most women have been burning the candle at both ends, looking after family, doing their careers, just doing life, and been holding it together. And that's where I talk about how we arrive at this point adrenally tired. So when our adrenals are shot, our nervous system is stuck in overdrive. We're living off wine and willpower. Your body just is hanging on and hanging on and hanging on, not just for dear life, but also to fat as a protective shield. So what sits behind it is that adrenal fatigue. And that's why eating nothing, exercising your ass off doesn't move visceral fat. It'll move subcutaneous fat, fatty fat. However, it also takes away lean muscle at the same time. So any kind of nutrition plan has to be done in a way that all your body systems are supported. So if we want to move visceral fat, we have to be able to support our adrenal glands so that our body is managing cortisol the way it's meant to. And cortisol is good for us. I've talked about that in lots of different kind of recordings. We need to be supporting our natural body's detoxifying body systems. We need to be able to put in good nutrition in, but it's a waste of time eating clean if our body's still in survival mode. It doesn't work. So as a naturopath, I say the BAM, the bare ass minimum way to support our body to move on visceral fat naturally is with neurofuel, neurorest, and neurolift. So neurofuel is about eating close to nature 80% of the time, whole foods, prioritizing protein, and ditching the sugar stress cycle. Okay, so everything I talk about in my Fuck the Stress book is all about breaking these cycles. Keep it simple, 80% of the time, close to nature. Like I just made myself lunch. I thought I want a protein loaded, I want at least 30 grams of protein. I grabbed a can of beans, I put a bit of halloumi and a bit of cheese, just normal cheddar cheese. Put in some spices. In this case, I did lemon pepper. Ground it all up, put them in like the shape of little protein balls, and I air fried them. It took 20 minutes max to make it. I've got enough for 3 meals at 30 grams of protein per meal. Or I could just nibble on one of those as a morning tea or afternoon tea. It's so good, so yum, and brainlessly easy. So if you're not following me yet on socials, do it, because that's where I put those kind of recipes. I'm a lazy cook, a practical cook, and I always make sure all of my meals have got 30 to 50 grams of protein, full stop. I get 100 plus grams of protein per day. I know the importance of it. So, but it's not just protein, all right? It's getting our full range, our 30 different foods a week so that we're feeding our gut microbiome. It's all of that. And then neuro rest, we know that deep sleep, every minute we get to sleep before 10 p.m. without guilt, without thinking, oh, I have to do this, but just letting ourselves chill out and sleep before 10 p.m. Every minute before is like a bonus point to get cortisol back into balance. Why? Because cortisol resets itself between 2 and 4 a.m. And the most important sleep we do is between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. because it's getting our body ready to do it. Okay? And that's the thing, it's our adrenals that are recharging to have that cortisol in balance. Cortisol is good for us. It's what gives us our energy to get out of bed in the morning. The problem is we're getting to bed at night and it's too high and it's not doing its normal balancing. So neuro rest is really important. And that's all. And I say the neuro because all of this, everything we do, the food, the rest, the movement, all feeds our happy hormones as well. So the third one is neurolift.
Have you ever wondered how your life could have been different if you'd had access to this type of content at a younger age? Look, this is why I need your help. I'm working to build the #1 platform that gives real and easy to integrate healthy life hacks and mindset to help you get well and stay well. This show only grows by word of mouth and new subscribers. It would mean the world to me if you could click the subscribe button right now, leave a 5-star written review, or drop a comment below. Share this episode with a friend and I would be forever grateful. Now, let's get back to this week's episode.
This is about mindful movements daily. It's the going for a walk, even for bloody 15 minutes. 1% of your day is 15 minutes. Surely you can spend 1% of your day just taking a walk. Oh my gosh, with joy and intention, and just not being on your phone and listening to stuff. Just be. It's not punishment. This is about getting our happy hormones to play properly again. It's about seeing the joy and the glimmers in things. It's just giving our brain a break and still moving our body. Things like Tai Chi, Qigong, yoga, walking are so restorative to our adrenal glands, which means it helps to lessen our visceral fat percentage. They're not negotiables. A 15-minute walk a day. You can do it. We also have to hydrate properly. 33 ml per kilo per day of water. I go on about it. Water's water. Herb tea's water. Green or white tea brewed for less than a minute is water. The rest is not water. That's it. We want to be able to support our metabolism and support our hormone detoxifying pathways. Water, and preferably not iced. You can have it cool. I would probably prefer room temp or warm, but definitely not iced. Ice just keeps that fire turned off in our belly and everything is stewing instead of digesting. And then we need to be reducing and managing our stress. So I'm the biggest fan of adaptogen herbs. They're not negotiable. For me, they are, and adaptogens are a class of herbs. We never prescribe one herb on its own. So don't get sucked into buying someone's, hey, this is the one herb that'll fix your adrenals. It's bullshit. It won't. We're not one body system. So when we prescribe adaptogens, we do multiple herbs to be able to help all of our body systems come back online at once. NSDR, non-sleep deep rest. This is the Shavasana 5-10 minute rest that you do after a yoga session. It's the not listening to something, just sitting quietly. Just breathing. That's so restorative to our adrenals. breath work, journaling, whatever you can do to get your body back in your body, because we're so stuck in our head, we're disconnected and we're paying for it. Not is it just increasing our visceral fat, that heart attack fat, it's taking years of our life off all body systems. And visceral fat is not about vanity. That big belly is not, this is not about reducing it for vanity. It's about vitality. We're not broken, we're just depleted. And when we rebuild our rhythm for life, our body responds. So it's not punishing, saying you can't have this and you can't have that. It's about standing in your power and going, I deserve to feel great. We don't have to be perfect. 80% of the time is what does it. Do the bare ass minimum 80% of the time. That builds you that solid, grounded foundation that is going to support you to do anything you want to do. That's what helps us rise strong.
I want to thank you for being here today. If you enjoyed my podcast, please let me know by leaving a review on Apple Podcast. Every month, I draw one lucky person who leaves a review, have a free 1-hour consultation with me. Be sure to subscribe to the show wherever you're tuning in from so that you always catch the next episode. I welcome your emails, and you can write to me at podcast@healthylifehacks.com.au. Until next time, remember, when it comes to life, live it, love it, and get on with it.